Right, welcome to the Euros podcast.
Right.
With Dave Cas, Martin King, and Garry Harris on this glorious night. Euros in my lifetime, England are in a European Championship final.
Come
on!
Okay,
Get in.
lads. So, I'll come to you first, Martin. Highlights and people that stood out for you.
Who stood out for me? I thought, most of them, but the only one I was with all of them stood out. But they all put in a look, but it was so started doing all this side, my thing about sideways, backwards football. Well, the Danes had a bit of urgency when they had the ball. They were quick with the ball. We were too slow in the first half, lined it up in the second. Everyone done well. The only one I was a bit suspect was the keeper, Pickford, who I've said before, can have a mad couple of moments. And that Phillips in midfield, honestly, I watched him closely. You three might think I'm moaning about fuck all. But I watched him, and he was like a spectator run on the pitch and was watching the game. Because to me, he done fuck all. I don't know what he's doing in there. He really showed his standard of football, a Leeds player, mid-table in the Premiership. I just thought he was like a fish out of water tonight. He will get fucking slaughtered by the Italians.
I have to disagree with you, Martin. I thought he put in a lot of good tackles tonight to cut the Danish play down. Yeah. I really did.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'll bow your superior knowledge of football then, Matt.
Fair enough, Martin. You know when you'll beat him.
I just thought him and Pickford were the ones who did. I'm not saying he didn't, but there were times, if you watch it back again, you'll see him, especially in the second half. The game was passing him by. And he plays everything safe. Maybe he did put a couple of good tackles in, but I just think Henderson and Rice are a better combination if you're going to play two holding midfield players. And I think he will be exposed again. Mark my words, if he's playing Sunday, he will get exposed for what he is. And the Danes done it, and the Danes ain't got no superstars.
I hope not, Martin. I hope not.
So do I. I want us to win it. Don't get me wrong. I want us to win it, but you asked me, 9 of the players stood out, 2 were the weak links. The goalkeeper and Phillips, I thought, was pony. That's my opinion.
Right. So we're back to Garry Harris. Welcome back, Garry. We had a podcast without you. We wish you well. So who stood out for you, mate?
Do you know what? To pick one out, 11 guys there have done something that I agree about Pickford, by the way. I thought there were moments where he was a bit nervous or it was a bit worrying. Didn't quite understand the substitution, Grealish on for a little while, Grealish off.
Yeah.
There may be good reason for that, I don't know. But
we're going to mention that, Garry. Do you think that was an injury or a tactical substitution to get him back off?
Don't know what it is. I mean, he's not going to get the opportunity we thought he was going to have. Defensively, I thought, Denmark probably the best side we've played so far, I think.
Without a doubt.
Coming back to something Martin said about just after we'd done the podcast against Ukraine, you said about the Germans pre the German game, that we know their game inside out because their players all play in the Premiership. We know what they're about now. Do you think, Martin, I'll put this to you, sorry, do you think that was an advantage for Denmark tonight? Because for 3/4 of that game, I was worried about calling it. I thought England were the more dominant, but I felt Denmark were well in with a good chance 3/4. Do you think 100%. That because, they know how to play us because they know us inside out? It was the shoe on the other foot this time, I
think so. I think that's a good analysis. I think, you're spot on. Though there is a couple of players like Christensen's at Chelsea, but my thoughts on him, I don't rate him at Chelsea. But he was solid tonight till he went off. The Jack Grealish thing, was he injured? I mean, how insulting. If he weren't injured, to bring him on as a sub and take him off. That's a bit hurtful, a bit spiteful.
No, it is insulting. Yeah.
It is insulting,
Like you said, Garry, I don't quite get the Grealish subbing them on and subbing them off.
No.
I did strategically avoid the question about who did I think shone, because I'll be honest with you, probably there's one of 5 or 6 players there that I can't really distinguish who shone. I definitely Pickford looks a bit shaky, as you said, Mark.
Yeah, definitely.
Harry Kane, Gary. We've said in the previous podcast that Harry Kane, he looks a bit dodgy. Then he scored against Germany, scored against Ukraine. How do you rate him tonight?
Shit penalty. I thought he was all right. I thought, better than what he has been. Shit penalty. Absolute shit.
Rubbish, wasn't it? Rubbish.
So lucky that he got that rebound. Otherwise, he would have been fucking crucified. He really would have been. Because it was a shit penalty, and which is unusual for him, I know. And to be fair, it's quite a soft penalty and all. So,
he shit himself, Gary. He shit himself before he took the penalty. Did you see him? He was breathing like.
Yes,
you could see he was panicking. He didn't feel comfortable with that penalty.
I thought, fuck me, I've given him my chest infection the way he was going.
If we'd have lost, it would have been all your fault, Gary. It would have been all your fault.
I thought Sterling.
Okay. So
Sterling
I'll turn to Dave Cas. Obviously, Dave has done a previous. He stood in for Gary. Why Gary was ill.
Nice to see you well again, Gary.
Well, not all, not there yet.
Not completely.
So, who stood out for you tonight, Dave?
Well, I suppose the last game I said Sterling, and I'm going to go for Sterling again, even though he missed that sitter where Schmeichel spread himself. A mate of mine texted me, said, "What a save from Schmeichel." I said, "Is that a save for Schmeichel or a shit shot from Sterling?" But the rest of the game, Sterling is so dangerous when he gets the ball. He's got the ball glued to his feet. He gets into them boxes and creates havoc, doesn't he? And Harry Kane, I know that was a shit penalty, but I actually see him doing things he doesn't usually do. Like
I agree.
But he actually, when they're trying to run. What I didn't understand about that game is why they were fucking trying to run down the time instead of going for the third goal.
Exactly. Yeah.
That could have been very, very costly to us. All that holding up in the corner and stuff. You think, no, go for the third goal because you had the chances.
Yeah. I was shouting at the telly, Dave. You're absolutely right.
Yeah. But anyway, I'm going for Sterling again as my shine-out player tonight. I think for the England side, anyway. I thought he done well again. So
he did. Yeah. He played his full Tottenham game tonight, didn't he?
Say it again.
He played how we played for Tottenham tonight. Little touches, little good passing. I thought he improved his game tonight.
He played clever football tonight, I think. Clever football.
He did,
it was good. But
I'll turn to the England back four. Harry Maguire, I thought, had a standout game. He missed a few games at the beginning, was brought back in. I mean, with an head on him like Harry Maguire's got, once he headers it, it's clear, isn't it?
Everyone's dying.
Said this before.
Don't everybody die on me, for God's sake.
Gary's dying.
You were right, he was good, Maguire, at the back of the night. He got his nut on everything. As you say, he's got a big old nut on him. But he did get his head on everything, and he was commanding them around him. He was the sort of the rocker. I thought Stones had a bit of a dodgy period in the game as well. He was giving the ball away quite a bit.
Yeah.
No, Maguire stood out for me as well. Yeah, and again Shaw. Shaw got forward a lot. So
Shaw done well.
Just a quick one, lads. I know coming back to controversial taking the knee. Gary Maguire take the knee tonight. I didn't see. I didn't look. He did.
They all did, I think. Denmark never. Denmark clapped.
Yeah,
I clapped to say.
Sorry to bring
that up. Missed that, lads. I totally missed the beginning because I was in the bog.
I know he didn't take the knee against Ukraine, did he?
No, Kane never.
I think he's embarrassed from last time, wasn't
he? Yeah, because he went down.
Denmark clapped instead of taking the knee.
Yeah.
See, why? That's a good gesture. Why can't England do that? I don't.
Do you know what? To be honest with you, tonight we shouldn't go down that road.
No. It's let's stay positive.
This is, I was 2 months old. I know Martin was a little bit older than me. or quite a bit older than me.
Fuck off.
I feel young, lads. Wait, you not make me feel young, you know.
And you know, I was 2 months old in '66, so you know,
a World Cup baby, as you call
amazing.
yourself, Gary.
Amazing that we're in the final. Now that, like I say, the dilemma is, I don't want to be at home on Sunday, so I've got to decide what to do.
You're not allowed that because you're not well.
Well, hopefully, the old antibiotics are starting to do their thing. I hope.
Yeah.
So
I hope so too,
I don't know. I might even go to Wembley. And if I do, I can do my bit from outside Wembley, couldn't I?
Roving reporter. Reporter you could be.
And we're heading over to Garry Harris outside of Wembley.
I'll be able to do it. I'll be able to podcast off the phone, wouldn't I?
Oh, it'd be fantastic.
What did you do
about it?
We're going to speak to Gary Boatsy Clark, who went tonight, and he's going to do a Euro podcast extra time, probably tomorrow. So we'll find out what the atmosphere was like. But
did you believe
watching it with a full crowd? Was it completely different? Completely different atmosphere, wasn't it?
Just on the crowd, though, I looked at that. Whether it's because most of them were standing up, I couldn't see that there was only 60,000 there.
Right.
Was there 30,000 empty seats?
I think there was a lot of empty seats, Gary.
Yeah, up the top tiers there was, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
I think they packed everyone in together, though, didn't they, in certain sections?
Yeah.
And the Danes had quite a lot there, didn't they?
Yeah, I was going to say that, Dave. Do you know how many Danes were there? Because every time
they said 7,800.
Yeah, that was it. 6,800. They said.
Something like that, wasn't it? Yeah, it was a lot.
Does anyone think that the Danish manager looks like Julian Clary?
I've heard.
Have you seen him? He's a ringer.
He does.
He'll be feeling like him tonight, won't he?
Julian Clary, isn't it? He looks like him, but he's a ringer.
No wonder they lost. Julian Clary's managing them. No wonder they lost. I just thought when we went 2-1 up, I thought, right, because we were pressing, and then we scored that goal. And then in extra time, Danish were coming at us. And I thought, carry on, get that third goal. But
exactly,
seem to, you said, Martin, we seem to go back to that tippy-tappy, sideways, backwards tactic. And the Italians...
I was just waiting for that oh my God moment. We fucked it up again. That's what I was... honestly, this is the first time that I've in a competition where I have not got excited, because year after year, you know, we've been upset, we've been let down, and this year I've just not got excited, even though everyone else was. And I'm thinking, but you know, the comparisons, they were saying this is the greatest team we've ever had. I question that. I thought the '96 tournament was a great tournament, and I think still to date the best game in the Euros England played was beating Holland 4-1 at Wembley. I thought that
great performance.
Still now, they were a really good side, Holland. Then I still say that's one of the best performances in Euros that we've ever had.
Yeah, that was awesome, wasn't it?
Yeah, and that was a great tournament. And so I don't know. I still ain't really... Shit, here we go.
That's excitement,
I still haven't really... It's not sunk in that we're in a final.
No, I mean, it's the first in my lifetime that England have got to a final. So I'm absolutely buzzing. I'm ecstatic. Martin, let's come to you.
Yeah.
Italy in the final.
Well,
How do you rate Italy?
Good team. I'll tip them to win. They're so Cellini and Bonici at the back. They got a great keeper, Donnarumma, and a young kid in goal. The back, they just lost, what's his name? Zola replaced the Roma, the full back with cruciate ligament problems. But they've replaced him with Chelsea's left back. He's a Brazilian, but he plays for Italy, like Janino. He's Brazilian, plays for Italy.
Yeah.
They're solid all the way through, except the weak link with him is my favourite, Janino, who's an absolute wanker at Chelsea.
That's your man, Garrett. That's yours, isn't it?
I hate it. Honestly, Dave, I can't stand the geezer. He's a lazy bastard. He's so overrated.
He's got a girl's name, isn't he, for a start?
Well, Janino.
Georgina.
Yeah. No, I think that they're so good. That they've got so many good flair players. They move the ball quick. They can defend well. Cellini and Bonucci at the back. Great keeper. I think if England play Phillips again, I think that he's going to be the weak link and he's going to be exposed. Honestly, I'd love us to win it. Don't get me wrong. I'm honest about football. If I think someone's shit, I'll say it, mate. But I just think that they got such a good side, and I tipped them on Spain to win it. It was close last night, and I think they got too much for England. I hope we win it. I'd love us to win it for the country. It would lift everybody. I can't see it. I hope they prove me wrong, but if he comes out with all this negative sideways, backwards, and tells the players not to go, the fullbacks not to go over the halfway line, I think we're in trouble. They're going to expose us. They're quick. They're direct. They move the ball. Look how slow we moved the ball in the first half. The Italians pounce on that and slaughter us. Yeah. So, no, I just think it's... hopefully, if we can get a couple of goals and go ahead and hold on to it. But they got a great defence. I mean, they're all... What's... Cellini's 37, Bonucci's 38 or something. So they're not young men, but they can defend. No, they're not
spring chickens, for sure.
They love to defend. That's their game. Look at their routers. Both of them have got broken noses. They ain't frightened to get stuck in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
One of the things last night was the what's his name? The real ugly one, the captain.
Cellini.
Yeah, his reaction at the toss for the penalties. He was mad. He was like hugging the old Spanish fella. Oh, mate, I thought it was so funny. But I will say, if Spain could have only fucking finished what the amount of last touches that were so poor, they would have beat Italy quite convincingly last night. I think. Yeah. But their final ball was atrocious.
Yeah.
Martin, you tipped Spain to win it, didn't you?
Spain or Italy, I said.
Yeah.
I said Spain or Italy. And I'll stick with that. I mean, what Garry just said, again, look at Morata. We had him at Chelsea. First 2/3 of the season, he was brilliant. Then he wanted to go back to Italy or back to Spain where he come from.
Yeah.
So we sold him back to Atletico. But the first two, he was brilliant. Scored hat-trick at Stoke. He was on fire last night. He shows you what he can and can't do. You know, with the penalty miss he had in the penalties. He's a funny old player. But as Garry said, if they'd have took their chances, they'd have beat the Italians.
Oh, they would.
But
you know, when they actually did the thing, got it right, they looked back. I thought their goal was great, but the amount of missed passes, the amount of bad touches that were in that last third, I was surprised. But had they taken them, Italy wouldn't have stayed with them, I don't think.
And that's surprising for the Spanish, because normally they're consistent at what they do. That's their game, and it passing little passes around the box. And
tippy-tappy.
Tippy-tappy stuff, yeah.
I'll come to you, Dave. Italy, are they beatable? Can we do it? Can we go all the way?
Yeah, I think we can do it, yeah. I think when I didn't watch the game properly last night, I'll be honest, I didn't really study it, but what I saw of it, I didn't see too much of a threat, really. And I think that we've had so much luck now. In previous tournaments, we ain't had no luck with us, have we, really? We've always lost on penalties, or we've had the luck tonight. We've had the penalty given for us, which other times might not have gone our way. Plus the Kane rebound. Would that usually come straight back to our player?
No.
I think maybe we got the luck. I think we've got the luck rubbing on our side this time, so I'm feeling a bit positive, you know. Yeah. But I think Martin's right. Italy are a good side, but I think they're there for the taking now. I think we can do it. But I'm a bit worried about Southgate and his sort of choices. Like, why is he telling them to hold the ball in the last few minutes of extra time and all that, and not go for the third goal? We need to be that killer. We need that killer instinct to win it, and not do that about. And stop. And what like his tactics as well. Why, like you say earlier, why did he take Grealish back off again? Has that killed his confidence now for the final? Or
oh, sure, I'm sure it has.
Yeah, I mean, Dave,
would you have the ump? You've been subbed on, and all of a sudden you took back off.
Look,
he's been used. He's been used in a way, hasn't he? It's like he's been used. Like you could see him sitting there. You know, when the camera beamed on him when he'd come off, the commentator goes, "Is he injured or is that a tactical decision?" And your man went, "He don't look injured to me. He's got his feet up like that." And he's like, he's taking the piss.
Yeah, I mean, I've championed him. I'm not his biggest fan, but I've championed him.
No, you have, Gary. You have.
I thought he was going to be the shining light and light up our team, and I don't think he's been given that opportunity to do that. So, and I think what we see tonight, that ain't going to happen. You know.
Okay, I'd like to talk about the penalty now. If that was given against England, we'd feel hard done by, wouldn't we, Martin?
100%, yeah, definitely.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think it was a penalty. We were also lucky to get that. I don't think he touched it. He sort of went a trip, or he jumped over his foot, or put his foot on the defender's foot and made himself fall, and then barged into the other defender. But I think it was very dubious awarded a penalty. I didn't think it was a penalty. Well, the way the referee maybe saw it different, but even VAR gave it, so
it's very true. I think what you just said, Dave, is very, very true. England's had no luck. It was a crap penalty, as Gary said, by Harry Kane. But then it goes and we get the rebound. We never would have got that before, would we, Gary?
Not usually. It don't rub our way that day usually, does it?
No.
I mean, look.
No, so I think we've got luck on our side. We've got Wembley. Is it at Wembley? It's at Wembley. Obviously, it's at Wembley. Yeah. We've got the home support.
Well, yeah, but you're going to have all the Bedford there and all, so you might find there'll be a lot of Italians. Yeah. Bedford will be empty on Sunday. They'll all be
Brentford will. There's loads of Italian restaurants in Brentford, isn't there?
Bedford.
Bedford and Brentford.
Bedford and Brentford. Yeah. All the old brickworks, mate. That's nearly all Italian.
Oh, yeah. There'll be no pizzas on Saturday night, Sunday night.
Boys. They had thousands there last night, didn't they, the Italians?
Yeah.
Absolute thousands there. So they will have a good support at Wembley, without a doubt.
Definitely. Right. Yeah. That'll be a good atmosphere Sunday.
Is it a full capacity Sunday? Are they letting it as a full capacity now, or?
I don't know.
60,000.
I'm wondering that.
Yeah. I mean, that's a good.
I heard that at some point that they.
So I know a few people have got tickets for that as well. Fellow QPR fans seem to get hold of some tickets, and
Funny you don't get them to come to Chelsea, isn't it?
I had to get that one in, didn't he? Listen, we're living in the 2000s, not the 1980s, Mark. Remember that, Martin? Time changes. Got to move on from the past, boys.
So okay,
it'll be a great game, great atmosphere, great game.
That was great.
So okay, Martin, right?
Yeah.
I've asked you about the Italian side. I've asked you, Gary. I've asked you, Dave. We seem to be getting the rub of the green at the moment. Who should start in the final, Dave? Let's, your first 11. Our question.
Well, ideally, you should have all in. I think Grealish should start. I think Trippier should start. I even think Henderson should start.
Yeah, I'll go Henderson. Yeah,
a lot of people are saying that.
Yeah, I'll have Henderson all day long.
Work around and keep the back four that's already started today because they're pretty solid. They're doing all right then. But I'll change up the midfield. And I suppose you've got to play Kane, I suppose, and then just I definitely Trippier, Henderson, and Grealish as changes to start in the starting 11. Like I think for me personally.
How do you think Xhaka played tonight, Martin?
Who?
Xhaka.
No, I thought he looked a bit out. He looked a bit out of sorts and a bit lost.
A bit Kaka.
Kaka, he was Kaka and all.
He didn't. The occasion got to him, didn't it?
I think so. Yeah, I mean, he's a young kid and he's got skill, he's quick. But I think he throws a little bit tonight. And I think they took him off just to not knock his confidence too much. A bit early for him, really, a big tournament like this. Yeah. I think you should be the other way round, play Grealish, and if he ain't having a good game, bring Kaka on, or whatever his name is, Saka. Bring him on.
Oh, dear.
That's what he's...
So we've
he was fucking Kaka.
You're knackered, Kaka.
We've talked about Pickford, who has been called T-Rex with his little hands on social media.
He was a T-Rex for that goal tonight, and all, wasn't he, Martin?
But,
hang
on.
He didn't quite make it.
Dave, let's talk about the goal. Was that a good free kick or not? Because it wasn't.
Yeah, I was blinded free kick.
Oh, it's great.
Great free kick. Great free. What a player that kid is and all. Good player, really. That Danish boy who scored the free kick. Never heard of him before. Like most of them. All good players.
He took that free kick high enough to go over their heads, and it dipped down perfectly into a place where, to be fair, not many keepers would have got that.
You know what? No, I think
should have done better, Gary.
The positioning was wrong. Pickford's positioning was wrong for that free kick.
I think
it was
so
too
too,
far
Dave.
over, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Would you say?
I think Pickford should have done better. If I'm honest, it was a good free kick.
Yeah.
But I don't know, tonight I was nervous, obviously, towards the end of extra time. But I always felt England had it, Martin. Was you?
Yeah, no. Once we went ahead and we didn't go for the third goal, which we all said tonight, we're all disappointed. Instead of fucking about with it, wasting time, try and get a third goal. There's only 5 minutes to go. If we went 3-1 up, they ain't coming back. But we pissed about and we could have let them back in a few times.
Yeah,
but we never. But
I agree with you.
Can I just say, if we don't play Pickford, he goes back to his removal firm. Who's the goalkeeper we can bring in? Is it Nick Pope or someone like that?
I don't know the other goalies, to be fair.
Do you know Dave or Gary?
I think Nick Pope's one of them.
I'm not sure. Right. No, I don't know. Yeah, Pope was the last player. Actually, they were saying on the commentary that Pope was the last person to concede a goal for England, wasn't he?
Yeah, I heard that against Poland, wasn't it? Yeah.
I
would play Nick Pope. I think he's shot
the
at the
only
minute.
goal that we've let in all tournament.
Yeah.
To be fair.
We've been ourselves lucky, haven't we? We've been lucky. I think we've just been lucky.
We've not played against great sides. I think, to be fair, if you look at France and Portugal, none of them are at their best.
No.
I think the Italians ain't lost 34 games now, is it?
No, they haven't.
Yeah.
No, right, go.
They're on fire.
So,
that's quite ominous, isn't it, really? But Danish was strong tonight. I think they were a strong team tonight, Denmark, weren't they? Very strong.
Yeah, they were.
Who do you think is going to go into the final as favourites?
Italy, definitely.
You're going to be favourites, do you think?
Italy. For me, Italy all day long.
What do you think, Gary?
What are you asking? Who do we think the bookies are going to make favourites? Or
you.
Your opinion. Who's favourites out of the two teams?
I thought we'd gone down the fucking bookies to find.
Yeah, come back to me. I ain't thought about it really. Look, on a night like tonight, they've got to the final. I'm going to go with England.
England. And you, Dave? Who's the favourites, Italy or England? And don't take as long as Gary.
I'm going evens Italy, 6-4 England. There you go.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Martin, I'm going to go even further. A score prediction. Let's have it. Yeah.
Who, me?
Yeah.
2-0 to Italy. 2-0 to Italy.
2-0 to Italy. Oh, okay. Very unpatriotic.
Don't care. Couldn't give a shit.
Score prediction.
Me? 5-4 on penalties. England.
Oh, it's going to go all the way.
Mm.
Oh, that's going to be nerve-wracking. And you, Dave, what's your score prediction?
Well, my heart says 2-1 England in normal time, but my actual brain, which I've got left of it, says it's going to penalties, like Gary said, and I think the bastards are going to win it. Penalties.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mind
Sorry,
you,
lad.
actually thinking about it, after seeing that penalty Kane took tonight,
Yeah.
I might go a little bit more nervous on that with that penalty shootout. I do think we possibly are going to go penalties.
Yeah. Could be right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who knows?
Okay
Who
then,
knows?
lads. That's the final whistle is upon us.
Whistle. What's a whistle?
Whistle. Did I say whistle or whistle?
Oi, it's all that Weymouth speak, lads.
It is
Here,
like,
that's the final whistle.
for chair, and I'm freezing. So it's the final whistle. We'll be back after the final. Hopefully, Martin, your prediction's not
Yeah.
right. Gary, we go to
Cheers.
penalties. My nerves won't be left. And Dave,
I'll
I
take
hope
that.
you are. There'll be more videos coming from UK Casual soon.